Well, many drivers nationwide are finally seeing some relief at the pump and on their insurance bills. But for DC drivers, it's quite the opposite, unfortunately. A new Insurify report shows full coverage auto insurance in the district jumped 18% in 2025, making it the most expensive in the country and more than $4,000 a year. So joining us live to break down why DC is bucking the national trend is Insurify data expert Matt Brannon. Good morning, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's break this down because I'm sure a lot of our viewers want to know why these auto insurance rates in DC are rising so sharply, why these national rates are trending in the opposite direction.
Right, it's a little bit of a different trend here in DC. While rates have gone up nationally, DC or gone down nationally, DC saw a $600 increase in their average cost for full coverage car insurance last year. And there are a few different factors behind that. So DC, as people might know, is a dangerous, aggressive place for people to drive in. There's a high rate of collisions. It's also a very dense city. Population density, if we compare it to other places, other states that we looked at, it's about 100 times more dense than the average US state, 10 times more dense than the second most dense state. And that just means there's more opportunities for people to crash into each other, more opportunities to get into an accident, as well as a high rate of uninsured drivers, which means that those costs have to be spread to other people who do retain insurance. And those are some of the reasons why Washington, D.C. has such high rates.
Okay, so let's talk about this across the DMV because Maryland and Virginia, they both saw their premiums drop, but DC shot up that 18%. So what explains that regional gap?
Right. The best theory right now, it's sometimes hard to tell what exactly is driving an increase or decrease, but it looks like insurers are treating DC like prices are still too low to reflect the actual risk there. So insurers are always trying to balance rates and risk. If they move their rates too high, people will leave, so they want to keep them at an appropriate level where it affords claims payouts. And in DC, we're seeing that it's just simply more expensive because there are more opportunities for losses. As well, if you compare it to a city like Baltimore, Baltimore still does pay more for car insurance than DC does, but Maryland now pays less as a whole. So I would expect that those prices, Baltimore and DC, will probably line up pretty soon within the next year or two, as insurers reflect the accurate risk in each city.
Okay, let's talk about this too, because the report also shows rates rose 12% in just the second half of 2025. So what changed from the first half to the second half of the year?
Sure. So it's not uncommon for things to shift mid-year. We've seen this recent trend from mid-2022 to mid-2024, where insurers were paying out a high number of claims because more people had returned to the road after the pandemic. There were higher rates of dangerous driving. And as a result of that, insurers had to raise their rates to keep up with the claims payouts they were having to make on accidents. And nationally, things have caught up. Insurers eventually were able to charge high enough premiums to put themselves in a better financial position. But as a result of that, rates went up. And now that they've caught up in other places, DC is still sort of experiencing a little bit of that rise.
Okay, so let's talk about looking forward here because a lot of, people who live in DC, they want to know what it's going to look like here ahead. So I know there's an expectation that prices will stay high instead of falling like some of these other states. So why is it that even into 2026, we're going to see these high prices stick around?
Sure. Nationally, we expect prices to go up a little bit in 2026. And we also look at what cities or states have done recently. So recently, DC has seen an increase, and we expect that trend to continue. We sort of project that forward. And based on the national loss trends we're seeing across insurers and the local environmental factors in DC, again, a high rate of uninsured drivers, high rate of aggressive driving, also a very high rate of stolen cars. DC ranks number one for all states. If you group it as a state in terms of stolen cars, it's nearly four times the median state in terms of the rate of stolen cars. Those are a few things that are coming into factor here.
Okay, I have a real quick question. We have to let you go, but I want to ask this really quickly. Is there anything, drivers can do to help bring their rates down personally? Because we're seeing these rates go up so much, and I'm sure, everyone wants to save money right now. Everything's so expensive. So do you have any suggestions real quick?
Absolutely. Number one tip is practice safe driving. That's easy to do. It's the most important thing on your record. Number two is to compare prices. A lot of people assume that their insurer will charge them the same price as other insurers, but oftentimes people look and see that another insurer might actually give them a cheaper price. Officials recommend people compare prices to keep their insurance prices down. So that's a good tip.
All right, Insurify data expert Matt Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time with us this morning. Good advice there, good information as well.